Peters representing the PC tonight, and Mfuleni, colleagues that are representing Chief of Traffic, senior managers from the department, colleagues, letting be members of the media. You are welcome. Can I acknowledge the media house that is present with us tonight? ENCA, Soweto TV, Jacaranda, Time Times, Kingston, Soweto News, Africa News Agency, Daily Monitoring, and Dumisa TV. I just want to indicate that some of the colleagues are still on their way. They are saying you're 5 minutes, 10 minutes away. But we thought maybe perhaps let's just start so that we can get the ball rolling, they can find us so that colleagues from the media, thank you for affording us the opportunity to unveil the 16 days plans that we're going to be unveiling tonight. And we are hoping that as you'll be getting those plans, as you'll be using your power of pens and power of voices, obviously this demonstrates by your attendance here that you are taking gender-based violence seriously and be able to report fairly without prejudice to the initiatives that Gauteng City Region has put in place. After the MEC has done the presentation of the plans, you are welcome to do one-on-one interviews with her for those who like to get some points of clarity, and then we can even link you up with people who are working on those programs themselves to give you more points of clarity in the event that you need those things by. We will now, I think, let's get Brasipo to do the opening and welcome officially for this thing, just the program director for this evening. Thank you very much.
Good evening, colleagues. Hi. Colleagues and friends from the media fraternity, let me take this opportunity to welcome you all to the media launch, the annual media launch of the 60 Days of Activism against violence against children and women. Today we are unveiling the program for this season. This season, I mean the whole 16 days program, which is going to start tomorrow up to the 10th of December. The MEC is going to speak to us about the program. She's going to speak to us about the activities and what's going to happen across the province, and probably speak to us about some of the issues that we are facing as a province. So I want to take this opportunity to welcome and acknowledge the presence of the MEC, the Honorable MEC, who's going to talk to us. In fact, this is her event, talking to the media about the work that we do as a department and the program. In our midst, we also have our HOD of the department, Ms. Yoliso Makasi, who's also here and honor this event. So after the formal proceedings, I think the media houses are free to interact and speak to the HOD and the MEC about some of the activities and the work that we do as a department. I also want to acknowledge officials from various departments who are here, who came to support us and partner with us in the work that we do, from local municipalities. The SAPS is also represented here, I'm told. The various NGOs that are here, various departments, I'm told the DSD is here as well. So, colleagues, you are welcome, and I think we will try and make it as informal as possible so that we are able to mingle and able to get as much information as possible from the officials, the HOD and the MEC who are here. So I'm going to urge you to relax a bit and let's have a more informal discussion about the work that we do as a department. I'm not sure let me see if you have received the program as yet. So that yes, I do. You have, okay. So, as I do that, I want to say you are welcome and come and spend time with us and listen and ask questions that you want to ask from the MEC. So you are welcome. Welcome all. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Sipo. Sarwanani. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, let me first acknowledge the presence of the HOD of Community Safety, Ms. Yoriswa Makasi, the two executive directors that are here, the SAPS leadership representing the Provincial Commissioner, but most importantly our friends, and sometimes not so good friends from the media. But anyway, thank you very much for responding to our call to come and join us for when we launch 60 Days of Activism Against Violence that is committed against women and children. Tomorrow we'll be starting another commemoration of 16 Days of Activism. Let us then take this opportunity to reiterate on this occasion no to violence against women and children. Men in particular, unfortunately, are still the majority of people that commit violence against women and children. Men are not licensed by culture to act violently against the vulnerable in society, our children, nor are they authorized by tradition to behave brutally against women. On the contrary, culture dictates that real men, God bless us, must be protectors and providers of families. Positive tradition replicates good practices in society. I'm saying this because in the last few weeks, we will be experiencing a situation where young men or boys that comes out of initiation schools decides to test whether those things work by actually raping women and end up killing some of their victims. And I'm sure as the media you've been involved in covering those incidents of gangsters in Sizakele that were involved in killing each other, and unfortunately, women who are always seen as easy targets became victims of these young people who have decided to form gangsters after they have passed or they've been in those initiation schools. Culture is a mirror of society. Tradition mirrors society over time. A memory of who we were yesterday and who we will likely be tomorrow. So we can't abuse culture. Culture mirrors who we are as a people, our vision as a unique human species, our special roles and responsibilities as spiritual beings. Our vision as a people is to raise children to become responsible and productive members of society. The role of men, together with women, is to be midwives of a progressive society, a society that thrives on one another's creative abilities and unique identities. Culture holds an irrefutable mirror to society. If this mirror of ourselves shows us as a human, as humane and loving people, we will love and respect one another. However, if this picture of ourselves is distorted and reflects us as subhuman, devoid of feelings of compassion and love for one another, we will treat one another with contempt as well as disregard one another's God-given rights to dignity and life. Although I'm not that much a believer, but namhlanje ngicela ukukholwa kuNkulunkulu. Amen. Who we see in our culture is really who we are as people, as a people. History repeats with examples of cultures that have been distorted and resulted in mayhem and misery it has brought to ordinary people. Tradition will perpetuate all that has been tacitly agreed and universally practiced by a people, good or bad. Tradition is how we want to maintain noble values of our society for prosperity. Through tradition, we want to say to future generations, this way is how we love our women, and this is our way of how we respectfully treat our children. Our children are a product of two people who love each other. So we can't dump our children in the hands of the government. That parents play the role of bringing up those kids the same way they engaged in love when they were creating them. I call upon men to hold a mirror to their faces. And I'm talking about men that are actually abusers or who turn a blind eye when their friends, their families abuse these women and children. To their faces and see the true reflection of who they really are. Whether they are providers and protectors of families or tormentors of their own flesh and blood. Whatever image they see in the mirror, tradition will transmit it throughout the generations. The mirror of the African culture that I know is that of a loving people, a people sensitive to each other's weaknesses, and recognize and respect one another's strength. Most of the Gauteng 16 days of activism programs are aimed at men. We have decided not to focus on women and children who are actually victims of some of the men that we know. Men as the majority perpetrators of VAWAC, and it is critical to involve them as we fight the sketch in order to break the cycle of VAWAC. By doing so, we will help stop men from being repeating offenders. It has been stated in various studies that their abusive behavior if they are not subjected to a criminal justice system and diversion programs. So sometimes it's jealous and full, to be very correct. That's why we call them correctional centers. In the same breath, we continue to acknowledge the role and efforts that men's organizations and structures like men age safety promoters must play in programs targeting men and helping re-socialize them not to be abusive and identifies to anger management, alternatives to anger management throughout the 16 days campaign and beyond. Throughout the campaign, we will share messages on the importance of reporting cases of gender-based violence, and of course, gender-based violence also includes the violence committed against the LGBTI community. Let's not choose again. We like to say that. So I think it is important that when we talk gender-based violence, we include everyone. The gender-based of repeating cases of gender-based violence and assist victims, especially to get help from available resources. We also need to also assist them to regain the trust of the criminal justice system and ensure that adequate support is provided to all affected. Lastly, because women must also be encouraged not to remain silent, not to withdraw cases, and most importantly, take good care of their children, as a number of cases of child abuse has been prevalent in the past few months, reflecting a position of mother or parental neglect. I would therefore like to announce the programs that we will be involved in as a department, and of course the other information about the other departments will be circulated to all media houses. Tomorrow, at Ikaya Letemba, there is the Premier's fundraising dinner, where, together with our business partners, we'll make a contribution and come up with programs. Quite a number of companies are willing to fund programs that will make meaningful changes on victims of abuse, both children and women. So this event will take place at Ikaya Letemba, hosted by our Premier. On the 9th, we'll have again the Premier's Ntirisano. I'm sure majority of you know what the Ntirisano is. On the 9th of December, we'll have a Premier's Ntirisano where we'll engage in a dialogue with the LGBTI communities. We'll debate and discuss some of their experiences when they go and report their experience or cases at different police stations, where they end up being again victimized by those that are supposed to provide protection for them. We'll also be launching the electronic cyber investigation room at the provincial control center. This will happen again at Ikaya Letemba. We'll also have an all-male picnic that will be hosted by all male MECs of Gauteng. This will happen on the 4th of December. It will happen at Gauteng. We'll also have a dialogue on human trafficking. South Africa, as one of the developing countries, we're now experiencing an increase of women and child trafficking in our country. We will actually be having a dialogue with civil society again on the 4th of December. We will be hosting young professionals and people who have recently graduated. Remember, some of the victims of domestic violence are actually professionals, and in most cases, they keep quiet about their experience because I can't you know. So our report, it's an embarrassment. So I think it is time that we also engage those, because violence, domestic violence, I choose color, I choose the body, I choose buntle, I choose level of education across. So we are engaging those young professionals on the 2nd of December, where we will talk about some of their experiences, and of course we'll bring in professionals that have been through but I'm not going to go so I'm not going to I think those are the programs that I would actually like to announce and invite all media houses to some of our activities. We'll also be having an activity at the Dorado Park in one of our hazardous areas where a number of our pedestrians have lost their lives. We will be launching our festive season program on the 3rd of December, and it will be launched by both the Premier as well as the Minister. So we actually invite you to join us on that day. Again, may this 16 days of commemoration once again remind us of who we really are: a peaceful nation and a loving people. Thank you very much. I'm not going to speak in speech in general.
Thank you, Ms. for the speech. Just a few announcements that I want to make. I just want to announce that we're also doing this. We have a live streaming on our social media, on our YouTube and Facebook. So this is we have a live stream arranged. We've also created the hashtag 16 Days of Activism launch, and another hashtag, No to Gender-Based Violence.
There's an idea from artists. You know what artists are going to have the opportunity in they are creative people, the ones that I was talking about. Already there's an idea that you should have an event or a day that is called Sugar Free, that is dedicated and awareness around issues about sugar daddy. On that day, there won't be a sugar daddy. Sugar daddies must fall.
Just on the point of announcing the live streaming on social media, YouTube and Facebook, and the hashtag has been created. Hashtag 16 Days of Activism launch, and another hashtag, No to Gender-Based Violence. And I'm sure that my colleagues from the media, I think the most important message from the ABC that we can take home is that, in any men's formation, let's begin to be progressive and change our behavior to those that are, kind to our women, children, because men are protectors, of course, and we want to maintain that. And just to say, remember that, the slogan goes that you are not men enough if you abuse women, children, and people with disability. Now, allow members of the media to raise a few questions to the ABC, points of clarity. When you do that, please identify yourself, the media house you represent, and the ABC will be gladly to respond to your questions. ABC will do the response from the table that she's sitting from. And even after that, for those people who want to do one-on-one with the ABC, that can also be arranged after the Q&A session is completed. Can I just get, by show of hands, the people that are interested to give points of clarity from ABC? Colleagues from the media, yes, you are one. If you can just take two, one, and K Mankube. And any more hands? I'm sure that as you ask questions, then it will just, some question to make other guys also feel like they want something to ask the ABC. Please go ahead. Just identify yourself and the house you represent and pose a question, please.
Hi, good evening. It's Kaya Kumala here from ENCA. I just wanted to ask Madam MC, just in terms of the theme during the course of the campaign, what would be the key highlights that you'd be seeking to drive across? And just also in terms of the campaign itself, what are some of the areas that you foresee that you may encounter some challenges? Because year in, year out, we see this campaign all the time, but we still see the scourge, still repeating itself. So, what would be that area whereby you'll be putting more emphasis to deal with these challenges? Thank you.
Okay, we'll take the second.
Hi, Sleep from Jakarta. I just wanted to ask the MEC, specifically with the department, what are some of the programs you have lined up for the 60 days? And just to elaborate on Kaya's question about this constant year on, year out. A lot of people are saying it should be a year-long thing. It shouldn't just be 16 days. So what would be your comments around that?
In the absence of more questions, let's allow the ABC to respond.
Now, thank you very much, Kaya. Maybe I didn't mention what is our it's Count Me In Together Moving an Environment Gauteng city region. And I think we're focusing on culture because of the few weeks events that happened in the Val area or Sedeng area, where people will use our culture wrongly. A number of young women were raped and killed in that area. If I'm not mistaken, with about 5 victims that were victims of rape by gangsters that are formed after people graduate from initiation schools. What they do is they form themselves into gangsters, and obviously, you know how young boys or young men are sometimes. They'll then say, we want to test drive our things. But unfortunately, at the end, after raping those women, they end up killing them. But you also have experienced revenge attacks on those young men. I'm sure they have seen some of the photos of those people who have died in the area, killed by their arrival. So we are focusing on culture because we believe that people abuses our culture. But we're also trying to highlight the issue of people loving themselves. You know this thing of self-hate, you know? That you look at the mirror in the morning, you see something that you dislike, and when you get out of your house, you see something that is similar to what you saw in the mirror, and you want to attack it. So I think it is important that we need to start liberating our minds. So let's be liberated and make sure that we love ourselves in order for us to love others. And if you love yourself, you will definitely not abuse another human being. So those are the things that we're actually looking at, and we are definitely focusing on culture because of the abuse that we have actually seen happening in that area. The response to the Jacaranda FM, I fully agree with you. We've adopted 365 days of no violence against women. In 60 days, we just showcase the work that we have done, but we also use these days to focus on the problematic areas. We will be focusing on civilian because that is the area that we have we've actually realized that it is contributing most of our crimes of abuse against women and children. But it doesn't necessarily mean that we ignore the other areas. We will also be doing some work in those areas, but we want to focus in the area where we believe that those areas actually stubborn in terms of us being able to eradicate crime committed against women and children. Yes.
Can we invite more questions or points of clarity to the MEC? It's a follow-up question from Jacaranda. Any more?
Or in terms of the programs, in the media pack, we have actually, yes, outline the activities that will be involved in as a department.
Just one more, MEC. I heard you saying encouraging women to report and not withdraw their cases. Has there been any improvement in that department? Because it is quite a problem that people don't want to report or are too afraid to report these kind of cases.
Before the MEC respond, let's take one more question in front here.
Just a follow-up question.
Introduce yourself. We will also represent.
My name is Charles Moyo from Tate Times newspaper. It's just a follow-up question. I have MEC say that. The MEC was talking about the issue of saying people they have to report crimes, but people again in the community are complaining that even if they report, there is no justice. So how are you going to make sure that people they get justice? Because there's no use to report a crime if they don't complain, the perpetrators are not arrested.
Any more of let's allow the MEC to respond in the absence of any.
On the first question by Jacaranda, maybe that you're asking this question. As a department, one of the things that we did was to we actually trained some detectives, about 100 detectives that were trained in Gauteng as forensic specialists. Right. So in order for them to understand how to deal with victims of rape or sexual offences, whether older women or children. And our FCS is now well trained, and we've established a unit that is now stationed at the Kaya. We have ring-fenced 500 cases, and I want the lady to also listen to this one. We have ring-fenced 500 cases through Kaya, where we assist our detectives in terms of investigation, but also we assist them in preparing our victims when they go to court. The lowest sentence in these cases that I'm talking about 1 year, in these cases was actually 20 years, right? And the highest, I think it was 1,058 years behind bars. Majority of those perpetrators got multiple life sentences, or number sentences by scope. You know, the ones that will only be mentioned by scope. So they actually got such sentences. So we make sure that there is justice. And if there are victims that says there is no justice, our services. That's what I'm actually asking. I always challenge our people things up. Give me a case. If there is evidence, you know, because again, people must not lie, because you know, there's people who have served years behind bars because of sexual offenses. You discover after halfway in your sentence that this person lied and is now prepared to talk. No mama can say I showed him. Then he said I lied. Then it's only that the person is being released. If there is evidence, even if the case has been dismissed in court, trials, we've got facilities at the Kaya Chamber. We will make sure that that case is followed, and we'll make sure that case do go to court and there is justice for that particular victim. So there's no reason for people not to report cases. For us to be able to crack 500 cases in 1 year, right? Imagine if everyone come forward and not withdraw cases, because I think this is not a problem now, is when families negotiate amongst themselves, right? And agree that no, you know, and thereafter cases are withdrawn, and actually the child that is a victim don't get any justice. Nina, as abantu abadala, you are the only one that gets satisfaction. But sometimes or your husband or boyfriend won't go to prison. The expense of your child that will be damaged forever. So we are saying, let's not negotiate domestic violence. Even though our boys we have actually instructed them, domestic violence can't be mediated. No mediation of domestic violence. Let who are in charge that take a decision. Uguti Akuba here that decides to withdraw, let him withdraw. But Akuba here send another perpetrator to prison, let him go to prison. And the perpetrator sometimes is not only men, women also participate in violence that is committed against their girl children. So Mzabe is for Luchi. Low justice. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nisi. It's a follow-up question. I'm sure challenge NC is some challenge. So it's a follow-up question. You are deciding to withdraw.
No.
Not the case, I mean your question.
I just wanted, I know with these 16 days we were focusing on women and children, but I want to know about male victims. Is there evidence what's going on there?
Okay. There are few men that come forward and report cases, but we do encourage them to come forward. Remember, there is rape that is committed by other men. And as particularly in entertainment, and not just entertainment, like I say, and people decide not to report such cases. But those that have reported such cases, we make sure that perpetrators do get arrested and they actually get some years behind bars. But what we have seen the increase is actually the violence committed against the LGBTI communities. You know, there's corrective rape, where young women who are lesbians, people just decide ukuthi baba rape because bafuna ukuprove ukuthi they will send it out, and I say out, you check, and they will rape them, and in most cases end up killing them. We've had our own staff members who've been victims of rape, you know. So we have seen an increase on the LGBTI communities. That is why we're having a dialogue with them. We did have an engagement with them, with the senior management of SAPS, and I think that engagement was an eye-opener for our SAPS leaders. And then we took a decision that let the government leadership engage with this community. The pain that this community go through. Then they get rejected by the families, they get rejected by us, they get rejected by society, but also their protectors also reject them, and sometimes I end up Baba abuser as well, so I think it is important that we have taken a decision that we also include the LGBTI community in our programs, because they also deserve to be protected. Why should one be punished for choosing Tanda or Munyumuntu? You know? Because some of the men that we get involved, but no one punished me for being involved with an ugly man. Why should you then be here? You don't beat people for, just because that person is a man, but if I decide tomorrow, then you say, punish. You can't be punished for choice your time. And I think it is important that say protect and no choice. They will never have to choose one. Thank you very much.
On that note, choose Umtandayo hashtag. Another hashtag 16 days. 16 days of 16 days. Normally 16 days of activism launch.
No sugar
days of no sugar daddies. Sugar mama. Maybe we must put another hashtag. That's it. On that note, let me allow Temi Masela just to come and do the closing remarks, and then after that we'll allow colleagues to enjoy some refreshments. And for those people who still have one-on-one that they want to do with them, obviously they're welcome to us. So thank you very much.
MEC, HOT, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, MEC, for blessing this occasion of unveiling our program of 16 days of no violence against women and children. Thanks, HOD, for the guidance. We hope will improve as time goes on. And to the media people here, I think our relationship is really dual. It's dual in the sense that you are partners with us in community mobilization, but you are also our amplifiers in trying to send the message, mobilizing community to speak out against domestic violence, to speak out against sugar, and to also spread the message of sugar-free. We really appreciate your involvement. We hope that you will assist in popularizing the message, but also making sure that you cover our programs as extensively as possible during this time. Thanks very much to the organizers, the colleagues from corporate communication, and ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for gracing this occasion. May this occasion ensure that we see a drastic reduction in violence against women and children. Thank you.
As we help ourselves in the refreshment, can we allow the MEC stable to serve first and then the rest of us can follow? Thank you.